Now that I've watched Sense8, I kind of think every time I have anything stuck in my head, it's because there's a hive mind and we're all thinking at the same time.
Maybe you're just the sheep.
Maybe.
I only watched the first 3 episodes and the last 3 episodes due to scheduling conflicts. Because I saw the first 2 by myself, and then was drunk at a friend's house, and they were watching the last 3, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And then accidentally watched them all and spoiled it.
Now I'm like 4 or 5 episodes in. Are we good to go?
I'm good whenever.
Yep, I'm good.
Welcome, Half-Bits, to 8.5-Bit Live with Fat, Skinny, and Short.
Which am I?
Yes.
I am your host, Paul.
I am James.
And I am Angus.
And I didn't win an Oscar tonight.
No, you get it there eventually.
But I was close.
Did you know?
Yeah.
I was nominated.
I nominated
For
you.
what? What were you nominated for?
Best animated film.
Yeah?
Yeah, technically because I backed Anomalisa on
Oh,
Kickstarter.
then that's...
Technically, if it had won... Oh shit, I wasn't going to do Oscar spoilers. Fuck.
Well...
One thing didn't win, and no one thought it was going to win anyway. Whatever. Fuck it.
Whoa.
So many things are popping off the screen.
Yay.
Okay, other spoilers. Who would have thought Pixels would run away with it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well...
Including Best Drama.
No.
You probably need a microphone near you. Hang on.
No.
Also, I've been told that pigeons are better than puppies. Yes. I don't know if I'm down for that.
I don't understand what that means.
And my wife's in the chat right on the ball pointed out that Angus was really quiet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No one has ever told me that in my life.
Our quality assurance.
She is. She pops in to because she knows I'll get upset if everything's not working.
Yeah.
Though I'm a bit cloudy apparently. I don't know how to deal with that. Doesn't matter. Okay. Hi everyone.
Hey.
What a week. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of things did happen this week.
Well, where's an A? We
Four
don't
of
have an A this week.
Okay, so we could start talking about an A. So why is not an A here? Why do we have the handsome Angus?
We should say I am not an A, just in case people are confused.
The hair gives it away.
Okay,
Just
so
the hair.
late last week, an A's company, Sponge Games, released a little game on the iOS store called Faily Breaks.
Really good game.
And some YouTubers picked it up, and within, 2 days from launch, 1 day from launch, it hit #1 in the US charts.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking cool to me.
Amazing.
And this wasn't just games charts, this was just charts.
Yeah, just #1 in US app.
Bigger than Netflix, bigger than Tinder.
Now that's what I want eventually.
You want to be bigger than Tinder?
I want to make a game that's
Life
bigger than
goals.
Tinder. That's
going to be the eulogy.
That should be your subtitle.
Was bigger than Tinder that one time.
So an A is very busy being, I think, exhausted at the moment after the weekend of dealing with smiles and phenomenal internet success.
Yes,
so that's why she's not here. But congratulations to Sponge and all the team.
Yeah, so I played Faily Breaks. Have you played the final Faily Breaks?
Yes, I've played the final Faily Breaks.
Okay. Actually, a slight diversion. James and I were talking about this in the car on the way over tonight. Before Faily Breaks, before it came out, we played it. You know, and A was showing us builds, and we were lamenting. I especially said, "It's really wish they could have 6 months to just polish the thing, to just a really high end here, Obviously, I'm really fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And James has. Well, your comment was that...
Yeah, I've been working on my own game, and it kind of changed my perspective a bit on, exactly how far do I need to go. I'm best
because you can polish.
You can polish forever, exactly. Yeah. And I think it's when you spend a lot of time on one project. It's a bit like when you work on any piece of art, any piece of creative anything, you see all the seams.
Well, so, you're your worst, your own.
Yeah.
Worst
so I think
critic.
you can reach a point where you're like, yeah, you know what, it's probably good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough is the motto
James,
of creation.
good enough bowling.
My creed when it comes to any kind of artistic endeavor is that no great work is ever finished. It's only abandoned.
Yeah. Well, that's not yours. That's
that's just generally.
That's just like a classic saying.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't make that one up.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming.
I'm famous for saying "when in Rome."
He's never been to Rome.
Yeah, it's true. I haven't been to Rome.
But yeah, it's really cool to see some good Brisbane success, good local success.
Let's criticize the game, friends. I don't really have criticism. It's very solid.
Yeah.
You can see why it took off once it got on YouTube is because it's what they like in that fast iterations. You've got a crazy ragdoll that flies when you hit.
Play 3 rounds while you're on the bus sort of game.
Yeah, I was playing it this afternoon because it was actually the first time I downloaded the final version, and I was there wanting. I wish the restarts were faster the whole time. They're like, oh, I've got to hit twice. How dare this game make me hit the button twice to start again?
And the fact that is your concern.
Yeah. It's like, I need to get it.
Says tremendous things.
I'm so fucking terrible at their game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm awful. I think.
So thanks,
I'm just gonna lean forward.
Thanks, Mr. Producer.
Just get right into the mic.
Get in there.
Yeah, we're good. We've done it.
And my wife, who's being having a lot of input tonight, she also wants to criticize Sponge Games for not putting it on Android yet. Because I was telling her about it, and she was like, "It's not in the store."
Not
and then
yet.
I realized she switched to Android last year, and she couldn't get it. But she has an iPad.
Jimmy tells you why. Bit of insight into
Why it's not an Android.
Yeah, well,
I just thought because they didn't prioritize
No,
it.
not generally, but just sort of like, well, not that game in particular, but like with Astro, I'm not going Android first. It's like when you got the small thing, you focus on iOS because iOS drives Android success.
Nah, you're just lazy. Lazy dev.
That's it, lazy devs.
Is Android harder to dev for?
No. It's really, honestly, it's just like a.
There's an iOS export button and an Android export
but
button,
it's
and
more,
you're too lazy to click.
No, it is. It's just a drop-down menu.
That's the easy part of kind of doing the build. It's all the other gumph you got to go on with doing a release is actually pretty time consuming. So, and it's if you have success on iOS, it will bleed over to Android. So, yeah, you don't have to get at the launch. You can just focus on one thing. That's it. What are you doing?
A few people talking about how awful we are.
downloads.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm all.
Anyway,
Yep.
Sorry.
Right, good.
what?
Nothing.
Why did you look down at my chat? You were talking.
I was.
Bailey breaks.
Bailey
Go
breaks.
get an
Good,
iOS
good.
and help the success of Anais and her company.
Good job.
And they'll continue to make games.
Good job.
Now, how about a game I played more this week?
Yeah, what did you play?
I'm just getting into it. I'm not even waffling as much as we normally would. We did our Oscars spoiler. Sorry.
Single Oscar spoiler.
Yeah.
We've got our Oscar
I
spoiler
didn't know
out
you
of the
needed
way.
to put spoiler tags on Oscars.
Oh, people freak out at it.
Really?
Well, some of my friends freak out about it.
Okay.
They're probably watching the Oscars right now, so
So we should be fine.
they're fun. Okay, this week saw the release of Superhot.
Super hot.
Super.
Hot.
No, that's not the right voice at all. That's
Super
like a robot.
hot.
Super.
Super hot.
That's a bit better. That's a bit closer.
Super.
Superhot has been in production for a long time. It was a prototype about 3-4 years ago. I played it in VR 2 years ago.
That
It's
would've been
been
a
coming a long
trip.
time. It is amazing. Well, actually, VR is kind of the way to play this game. I don't have access to
Really?
it now. In that the actual so let's go to beginning. If you don't know Superhot, Superhot is a game. It's a extreme first-person shooter, and you play it because time only moves forward when you move.
do.
That includes moving the camera. So everything moves forward very, very slowly as you look around, and motion makes things jump forward quite quickly.
Yeah, and it's not that time stops. It moves very, 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 very slowly when you are still.
Yeah.
So that allows you to dodge bullets
It's
and slice
effectively
them out
so.
of the air and grab stuff that's in the air.
You
and
can
do
slice a
all
bullet
these-
or two.
do all these tricksy stuff.
But one of the things they've been doing over the last few years, other than trying to perfect and add lots and lots of scenarios, and there are a lot of different scenarios in the game, they've been adding a narrative. And they went full on, shall we say, full on Pony Island on this thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This thing is a game about itself and its own existence, and about VR and our VR future.
where'd he come from?
I missed him before, I think. Not sure, actually. It's one of those things. You don't want to spoil the narrative because it's just kind of... It's fun and it's surprising and it takes you into some different places. Very self-conscious and very successful, I would say.
As much as it sucks to say you just have to play the game, you kind of...
Well, for the narrative. For the narrative.
For
Okay.
at least the story.
After this level, I'll show you a little bit of sort of the meta experience
Can-
of the game.
Can you tell me what are some of the standout things that separates this from the original demo?
Okay, well, one, variety is the biggest.
Yep.
So there's just... We're talking scenarios like on trains, trucks running at you, it does just like sometimes it can break halfway through what you think is a game level and turn into a narrative level.
This is the bit that I absolutely love.
How
Because
at the end of a
shows
level,
you,
it shows you real time what you did, which is all I always wanted to see.
it just looks so
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, the graphical polish is way up from the original prototype. It's just everything is very slick, very nice to see. I showed it again. Why did I do that? Anyway, okay, so
What?
this is part of the meta of the game.
Okay.
The game exists
man.
in this sort of directory structure, which has a bunch of other stuff in it, including other games.
His
I'm gonna-
name
Oh,
is
it's a little
Tree
roguelike or something?
No, this is-
Oh, it's a lumber game.
yeah, it's the lumberjack game. Like, oh, what am I doing? And it's got all these like Easter eggs. As I say, it's got other games in it. It's got all this story content. And so basically, you play through Superhot. Campaign's probably about 3 hours long. It's one of those games that I really, really lost time to. I actually missed an appointment playing it. But then when you hit it, that's when the game sort of opens up. The entire campaign's kind of training. Then it adds in challenge modes.
Dog.art.
Oh, yes. You'll understand some of this stuff if you play the game. Yeah. So challenge modes, endless modes, and like you can then go back to all the original levels and things like that. So there's actually a lot of game afterward. All the challenges, there were, I think, about 20 or so different types of challenge, and each of those had a whole bunch of levels underneath it. So the very first challenge is katana only. You can only kill people with a katana. You can't pick up guns. You can't do anything. You can just swing and throw katanas. That's the only thing.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, because
Especially-
you can slice bullets out of the
yeah,
air.
if someone
and-
shoots at you, you can slice the bullet out of the air, which
So you
is
can't
very
even
fun.
like pick up vases?
No,
Don't know how
can't
to
pick up
pronounce that.
anything except katanas. You don't know how to pronounce vase.
Well, because it is a vase or a vase. I've heard them both
Vase
ways.
is fine too.
So they're both okay, and I'm just
think-
wrong
yeah,
in
I think
being
so.
confused.
Other thing that they added was that once you complete a level, you can then capture the part of the level you thought was really cool and upload it.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun level. What I've loved about this game is at this point, every point of the game, I think I'm so good. I'm such a badass. I've learned how to do all this, and then the game keeps getting harder and harder. And then I go back to early levels and I just start solving them in crazy ways now because these are so easy now. Like I look at this, go like, oh, I could have done this much smoother. This is a bit rubbishy, but it was extremely cool when I did it. Yeah.
How many
anyway.
different weapons are there?
There's not a lot of weapons. There are there's out of firearms there are 3 types of firearms. Basically, there's a pistol, a machine gun, a shotgun.
The machine guns burst fire. If I
Yeah.
heard correctly.
So it's 4 burst per pull,
Yep.
which means you have to sort of move the camera to fire the next shot. So
Oh.
if you move really quickly, you can use all 4 bullets to shoot 4 people. Very hard to do though.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've got to turn the camera far enough in the split second between shots
Yep.
to get the next shot out. Yeah,
Nailed it with the last throw against the wall.
just through against the wall.
Just
yeah,
angry with a
Actually,
gun.
it's funny. The bigger guns, it's harder to throw at people because they're more likely to hit a wall or something. And if you throw a gun at someone that's shot at you, you might just hit the bullet, and it won't
Holy
hit
cow.
them. Everything's very like
Yeah.
you can shoot a bullet out of the air with another bullet.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's.
man. Some-
It's super, super cool.
Super
and
hot,
what I wanted
if
to
you
say
will.
about super hot, the super hot,
Super
that thing we
hot.
keep saying, and is like the thing at the end, it's actually a narrative element.
Really? Okay.
Not going to
Alright.
tell you what it is, but it's fun.
So
Gotta play the game.
I
Gotta
know
do it.
one-
I want to do it.
one of the things we've been talking about is like when we talk about a game, like is it worth the time?
Yeah.
So with this one, like what about it makes it worth time?
Super hot is, well, other than being a very, very good game, it was a cultural touchstone before it came out. We've played in Game Club at least 2 super hot
Yeah, super
Like-
quat.
super quat.
Super quat. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
And,
you got me
um,
so excited for
Super
Super
And
Hotline.
super Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea is very, very simple.
Well, they did the one in Doom, didn't they?
That was Super Quad. Oh, no,
That was Quake.
There's Quake, Super
But
Quad.
it might
I don't
have
know.
been
They might have done a
Doom
Doom
one. Yeah,
one.
I don't know.
They could have done that too.
I saw a trailer, so maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Could be
Anyway,
real.
so
Interspersed with John
uh,
Romero talking shit.
one of the things is the game is a bit pricier than people were expecting. It's $25 US, which brings up a bit. You can
Well,
get
I
it.
guess how much game's in there?
there's a lot of game. Like, as I said, the 3-hour campaign is like the intro.
Because then there's all the scenarios, go back, a lot of
Yeah, a lot of remixing and a lot of trying to beat scores and that sort of thing. I would say it's very much worth playing. Maybe if you're not super excited for it, it is worth waiting for a sale though, because it matters how long you want to try the experience. Do you want to play the endless mode and see how long you can go into your friends, or do you just want to play the campaign and then tool around with a few other things? But that said, I think it's a cultural touchstone in gaming now. Super hot. It came out and delivered more than what I was expecting from it.
Well, I didn't know anything what to expect with this, because it was one of those things. It gets a bit like whatever the truck one was. I forgot the name of.
Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck. That's such a good name. Whereas okay, here's a mechanic. What are they going to do with it? But looks like they did some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, they took it to lots of places. No, I'm not going to. There's one gameplay mechanic I did not show off, which comes in later game, which most people I haven't ever seen mentioned before. So there's actually more to it than just shooting and throwing and punching people in the face.
Okay.
It gets a little bit crazier. Because I'm pretty good
with those.
Yeah, it adds one more element, which opens up the game to a whole new possibility space.
I have an idea of what it is, but I haven't played the game, so can I make a guess and then
Yeah,
you just
have a
say
guess.
nothing?
Yeah, that's not...
Is it body switching? Not going to say anything because can't say anything?
Could be anything.
Oh. I think I got it.
I don't know.
Anyway, now, I know I'm being super greedy.
Yes.
But can I continue with my super talking?
All right, now go on. What are you going to talk about?
Because this relates. This is a game that I played this week. It's only a demo. It's by the team that made Trine. It's called Shadwen. Yeah, Shadwen. Which they announced a while ago. I think it was the episode when I was away, and it was Anais and Elliot that were hosting it. Now, I knew literally nothing about it. I thought I'll just download it. Partly also because the more people that play it, it reduces the cost of its eventual release, which is a very weird marketing strategy. So at the moment, it's at $24 US.
Yeah. What's it go down to?
Just the more people that do it, it can go down. I suppose it might be a lot to make it zero. But,
do we go to the negatives here?
Maybe. So you might notice that the game's been a bit silly, weird here. It just keeps stopping because this game works like Superhot. Time only moves when you move.
Okay.
But it's a stealth sneak 'em up, which is a combination I literally cannot think of ever happening. There is one addition. You can hold down a button to let time pass.
Yep.
So, because at first I didn't realize that. I was trying to work out how to play the goddamn game, and not being able to watch how guards move. That's hard. Here's the other thing it does. I kind of messed up a bit here.
Oh.
It's also full-time rewinding. So it's
a stealth game that will not shit me in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, it'll shit you.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's like that was an instant game over because you got seen.
Yeah. I mean, it changes per scenario and everything, and sometimes you can be seen and they can see and they can chase you or whatever. But part of the thing is this, like Trine, is very physics-based. You'll see a bit more of this as I'll go and do some road.
Well, there was you roped up to a platform.
Yeah.
So is it you end up finding the physics a bit?
Yeah, like there are times that the interface is not quite there yet. They need a fucking tutorial, that's for sure. But pull myself up, good. But if you do mess up with a weird physics swing or whatever, you just push reverse, and it will reverse the entire level. There's no limit to it as far as I've seen. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a limit, in like technology.
Can you watch the whole run at the end?
No, not that I think. No, you might be able. Honestly, I only played around this first part of the demo, so it's actually larger than I thought. And I'm actually terrible.
Kind of just watching this now, I wanted to get in a little bit of kind of braid time rewind, but not everything rewind.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you could like pull someone out of time.
Well, maybe they'll add maybe there'll be some fantasy meta narrative going on. Maybe it's a game about game making where you have to whisper Shadwen into a microphone.
Shadwen.
Imagine if just 2016 just becomes the year of games within games.
Yeah, and time only moving when you move. It's the new
every
thing.
game from now on.
So one of the things you sort of notice here is that I started with a little girl, and every time I turn around, you can see her outline. She's hiding it. That's what you're trying to escort her through the levels.
Okay.
Oh, good. Escort missions.
The easiest. Well, she seems to mainly look after herself. Only once in the entire time did someone actually like her be a problem. And they chased her, and I tried to kill them in time. But I do it the easy way, which is murder everybody.
That's the best way to play a stealth game.
Yeah.
Kill everyone.
You could also try to like make noises and knock over. Or
I love just
and,
phasing into that haystack.
but murdering it. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
beautiful time. I thought like whilst like the physics do get a little frustrating sometimes, I do have interface problems like with the rope. I think I have to left click to disengage the rope. I'm not sure because it's also my attack button. So, but you've also got a bunch of tools there as well. So I set up a little snare trap there.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
Well, they can, but they can't do much.
No, it's a really refreshing, interesting game, which I think it sort of solves some Trine problems for me. Because Trine got too loose.
Yeah, like
It's like everyone had to have a solution, so really in the end you could just make a bunch of boxes and...
Well, it tried to me felt a bit like one of those physics toys.
Yeah.
Where it's like, alright, have a bunch of ways to...
Well, this is still a
solve
physics toy, most definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I can throw a barrel, I can put a rope on a barrel, push it off the other end, and then counterweight on the other side if I want.
So you could lift a guard up with a barrel?
Oh, I didn't try to put
Oh,
barrel... Oh, James.
I want to know now.
I didn't even try. That would be great.
Well, now we all have a reason to find out.
Yeah, but because it's a bit harder and it's the way it's contextualized and the way that it has like the time, like, you know, hard limits. Like, oh yeah, if you get seen, if someone attacks you, it's game over. You got to go. It's a more structured game, and like even though I'm saying it'll still frustrate you a little bit, it does solve those stealth problems of, well, you know, if you fuck up, just take the step back and do it properly. Like I kept trying to crush people with barrels. I kept missing, so I just kept adjusting a little bit.
I've mentioned Deus Ex a few times, but you know, using quick save for a lot in a stealth game, and it made me really enjoy the stealth in Deus Ex. So something like
Because
this,
you could
effectively,
just
you're
go
quick
back.
saving.
Yeah, there's
you
quick
know.
saving constantly.
Yeah.
Going back, change it.
Looks good.
Yeah. Plus, if you're just saving over the same quick save, if you find out you fucked up earlier in the thing, you got to
then-
go back to
then
a hard
Oh,
save.
no.
And,
Yeah.
terrible.
You get ruined
Okay.
by your own saves coming.
Now that I have talked a lot,
Yeah, you have.
Super talk.
Use-
maybe I'll let somebody else talk. James, what do you have?
Okay, this week I've been playing a good chunk of Foul Play. Foul Play. Playing this
Dun, dun, dun.
on PS4. It's best to be likened to
Oh, wow.
Castle Crashers. Sort of what it plays like an awful lot. Except the premise of this one is you're performing a stage show or a stage act, and you must play to the crowd to kind of like to for your health, right? Like
So it's a little bit of battle block theatre.
I guess a little bit, yeah. So
We can't reference that because we hated Battleblock Theatre.
Okay.
So it's sort of like
Because we only had 3 people. That game is not made for 3. You need 4.
Really?
It can't be played. It's awful.
I'm going to make this really sad observation that I only ever played with one because I was at home alone crying. So,
we're talking about different ways of playing.
yeah,
there.
apparently.
So apparently 1 or 4 is the only way to play
No,
that.
two or
Anyway,
three.
sorry, James.
So this one is designed for 1 or 2. I played it just as 1. I actually don't know what 2 would have added to this, because
Second player.
a second player. Yeah, well, I didn't
More
feel like
inputs.
there was much of an opportunity to do anything with anyone else. Like I don't. Maybe there are things there. I didn't give it a go. But I was playing this by myself, having a perfectly fun time. So it's sort of a pretty basic brawler. I did suffer from some of the problems that I had in Castle Crashers, where it's just like my depth I'm a bit confused about. Like I don't know. Oh, I thought I was gonna hit someone, but I wasn't really. But apart
That's
from
why they had the little shadow.
yeah, so it's alright. Keep breaking into these like little scenes. It's pretty cool, like all the little stage, like little references they have, like you know,
Props
like
and
well things
backdrops
like you'll like knock someone out and they'll hit the ground, but they're still alive because they're an actor, so they'll like scurry off. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, just little things like that. They're kind of nice touches.
The thing that I think sort of notable. So Foul Play came out 3 years ago, and it started like 360 PC, and now it's come out on PS4 and Vita, and like you get these indie games now that because like this art style doesn't really date, it's just fine whenever you release it. So they literally could have these super long lifespans
Yeah,
as like
they've got
a
the long-
small team works
the long
on. It's like,
tail on it.
we'll just port it to
Yeah.
this, and then well that's done, port it to this.
I mean, it does. I feel like it's missing some polish when I play it.
Yeah.
Like it
Well, there's no fucking excuse for that.
well, yeah, like they've had the time. I didn't feel like it was particularly deep, and this is why the second player I don't think it really add much, because it's sort of like this basic parry system, and parrying is totally OP. Like once I got
They generally are in most fighters.
Well, yeah, once I got the hang of it, you basically parry, grab, and throw.
So it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I was
going
to say it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, basically
syndrome.
like that. And once I kind of had the combat system down, I was getting through. I started 5-starring levels and getting through. Like it was.
You fast 5-starring a fighter.
Yeah, so you got
Oh, that's terrible.
But it does throw out different objectives when you play it again. It's kind of cute the first one you get because it actually comes out of the audience.
Yeah.
So it's like the big boss comes out and the little boy stands up and he's like, You're gonna go get them, Mr. whatever his name is. Can't remember the name of the character. Mr. Mustache,
or something like that.
and you're gonna kick him right in the balls at the end.
Oh, no.
So you get like a bonus if you
The
kill.
janitor shows up.
Yeah. So you
Like,
get like a bonus if you kill everyone else except the boss until the last. So just little objectives like that. And those I didn't do as well at. So even though I had the combat kind
So
of under
you
control.
disappointed little children.
No,
That's
I
what
did
you're
get that
telling
one.
us now.
Actually, I almost failed because I really wanted to not disappoint that little boy. Yeah, like it's. I don't know if it's really that much of a party game. I found this.
Well, we haven't tried it, so we'll have to
we
find
can
out.
kind of give it a go.
Maybe.
Just as like a bashing up some dudes, it was pretty satisfying.
I'll bash up a dude.
Little bash 'em up.
I like this kind of this. Yeah, sort of like a show set in 1920s about like 1890 or something like that. Like.
But how does the entire stage keep going to the right?
Why
Why don't you run in place?
Oh no, he's actually stationary. They're moving the set.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it should be.
That's what's going on.
It doesn't look like.
Well,
that.
you don't know that the audience that is going to the left aren't standing up and going to the seats at the right.
It's actually it's theater in the round, but the opposite way that it normally would be done.
That's exactly what it is.
Instead of everyone in the middle, the play is done around the outside of the audience. Fantastic. This is the new theater.
Yeah. Look at all
That's
this.
NU theater. Okay, Angie.
Yeah.
What have you been doing recently?
I've been playing a whole lot of XCOM 2.
Oh man, I've been playing a lot of XCOM
Yeah. Like
Guess how much XCOM 2 I've been playing?
A whole lot of none.
How much?
No XCOM 2.
None at all.
I have
Yes.
an update on my XCOM 2 because when I first talked about XCOM, get on camera. When I first talked about,
I noticed you were wearing.
Yeah, I was like,
it works for me. It's like goodbye now.
no.
Goodbye, chimney sweep.
I was all about Iron Man, right? I'm like, I'm gonna
like from day one.
Day
Iron
one,
Man?
I'm
'Cause
like-
that's a
Like,
challenge.
I'm not messing around. I'm gonna just Iron Man this bad boy. After failing about 6 times, I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to not Iron Man this game anymore.
Well, you don't Iron Man your first couple of playthroughs just so you can learn XCOM.
Well, what I do now is I kind of house rule Iron Man. So I play a mission, and if I scrape through it, I consider that a success and I move on.
But if
I totally wipe,
everyone dies, no one
then-
even gets recovered. What about extractions?
I might extract.
Like if you need to leave, there's one person left carrying the corpse of his friend.
Yes. Well, okay. What I like in XCOM is like the narrative that comes out of failure. So I don't save scum the game because that to me is sort of losing what XCOM is. But I don't want to get 2 bad missions in a row because the missions are so random. The spike. So you could get that random mission where it's like everyone dies and it's like and then have another one and everyone dies again.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're landed on the top of a building surrounded by people.
Yeah.
No chance of stealth or anything.
So by just doing my house Iron Man mode, it kind of stops that from happening. So I get through a little bit more, but yeah. It's alright, so I've been really enjoying it. Tell me about your experience.
Well, have you guys talked about it before on the show?
Yeah.
I don't need to say...
No, we don't need to set up
is.
what XCOM. Even if
Excellent.
we hadn't, it's XCOM. So
Yeah.
I think it's generally basically understood.
But it was, doing our first full playthrough on my channel, and that's because we've got viewers in as the character pool.
Okay,
There's a whole lot of pressure to not get anything wrong, which is, of course, ended with everything going wrong. So this has been a week of really wondering if I need to save scum or not.
No, don't do it, man.
Don't
Don't
save
save scum.
You can't, but... we've got maybe 3 viewers left.
I love a friend of ours is playing and made the entire friendship group at the beginning and just keeps posting to this email thread when everyone dies.
Just every time?
It's like, Kate, she died. She
I
just
know
heard
someone that did, Australian politicians.
Oh,
Yeah.
so as well.
But aren't you meant to
Who's the
root
last
for
one to
them?
win?
Yeah.
No one. Well, I think when we're all gone, we all win.
What about Shorten?
Doesn't matter who wins, we lose.
We got political for a second.
Hey,
You know what the thing is?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be. I actually meant to say Ludlam. Where we could be like, oh, well, he'd be all right. And they're like, oh, wait, Shorten. Why did I say Shorten? Oh, well.
roll with it.
Why not? Big Shorten supporter here.
But yeah, there's been a whole lot of doing the one playthrough for the channel and a whole bunch of like easy mode, see what the game has to offer stuff by myself.
See, that's the thing. I've had a lot of people say that it's like to play XCOM properly, it needs to sort of be hard and Iron Man and that. But because you don't know the possibility space of the game, that is impossible the first time you play it.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
I haven't succeeded on easy yet.
Yeah. So it's like, don't Iron Man, go easy, just go through and see what happens. And see, like, oh, if we research this, will it actually be beneficial? Oh, not really.
Yeah, because I think this is going to be a moment of, this will go great, I assume. Let's see how this all works.
We've got a 99% chance of a headshot. Oh, missed every shot.
Oh man, that happened to me today.
The amount of I'm standing directly next to a person.
I'm sitting there with like
shot. It's a miss.
I got 75% chance. That's pretty good.
It's
3 out of
decent.
4. Nah. And then like 60%. Nah. Like, and I know none of these are guaranteed, but when you get that string of like 5 fail, and I know like it's like flipping the coin every time. The coin doesn't remember. It's perfectly possible statistically for this to happen.
I promised the coin we would.
But it does feel kind of shitty.
Well, but on the flip side, the amount of like 20% shots that I've managed to get through walls in clutch situations. Like if I don't do this, everyone is dead.
What do you think?
You get 80% of your 20% shots, but only
20% of your 80% shots.
Yeah. 30% of the time it works every time.
Maybe they just fucked up. Maybe they just put them the wrong way around. Maybe that's why everyone's getting frustrated.
The shot chance is actually a mischance.
Yeah.
And it's that one design flaw.
Yeah. So in the top right there, we've got the turn timer.
Yeah.
How have you found the turn timer? That thing's been a little bit dividing.
I have enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. It's added a sense of urgency. It's meant that I can't
also
just
fuck those
through the
guys.
fucking game.
Yeah, it means that I can't like wait for that perfect ambush. I've got to go. All right, I see 4 people. Let's do the ambush now and go by balls to the wind. Just
well, because I've been jumping between this and XCOM 1, like on the train on my iPad.
Yes, I've done the same on my phone.
And it's like it's almost like iPad. The XCOM 1 is like the casual mode, because like I don't have a timer. I can just go Overwatch, creep through the level, and I'm pretty good.
Well, because I've got Enemy Within on my phone, so it's got Meld. Which has a timer.
Oh, and you've also got the reinforcements in this one as well.
I'm not gonna lie. The reinforcements have led to the best moments in this game, where reinforcements have dropped their little flare just after I've killed everyone, allowing me to set up a perfect ambush as soon as they get out of the plane, and it's one of the most satisfying gaming moments I've had. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I've had some moments in this that just well executed turn when you set up that perfect ambush.
Oh yeah, when a plan goes well in this game,
please miss.
I honestly don't remember.
But nice camera game.
Yeah, actually,
that's been a big
for
issue
Axis.
with me.
Well, XCOM 2 we haven't really mentioned. It has got a heap of technical problems, and it doesn't run that well for what it is. For Axis, have just kind of go like, we didn't know this was this bad, and they are working around the clock. Apparently,
there was
a bunch of problems.
One of my friends. He recently deleted the game. Because like Iron Man mode just like crapped out, like save bugs in Iron Man mode.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh Christ.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what, game?
Yeah, that makes my petty graphical concerns feel so much better.
There's not too much of an excuse. Like, this game isn't a huge extension of XCOM.
No, you imagine the base was already there. They didn't say, you know what, gonna switch to Duke 3D engine.
More than half of
build engine.
More than half of the new features in this one were taken from XCOM Long War, the mod of the last game. And
okay, what are some of those features?
Oh god, weapon customization, extraction during things, hacking robotic enemies.
Okay, so yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. So
shall we move on?
Fun game.
Let's move on to some hot looks. That's what I'm calling when we look at games we haven't really looked at much before.
Is that going to be a thing
sticking
now?
on it?
Hot
is it
looks.
Time for a hot look?
I
was thinking about calling it super hot looks. Yeah.
Just may as well this time.
May as well super hot looks. So let's start with the hottest, shall we?
All right.
Postal Redux.
I actually did want to talk about this a little bit.
That's right.
Let's chuck her up.
They're not remaking, they're remastering the original Postal.
I was not expecting isometric.
Well, that's what
Did
it
you not
is.
know this is
That's
what
what it
Postal
is.
was?
Yes.
No, I'm.
So if you
I'm a
saw
little baby.
if you saw Hatred last year, that was basically a remake of Postal. If Hatred had a little bit of color, so it was actually readable when you played, it would have been a decent game.
Wow.
This,
Wait for it.
well, this is the classic.
There
we
it
go.
is.
There we go. I like watching this again and seeing thematically where this game started to where it ended up. I really preferred this thematically, where it takes itself seriously but in the right way.
I don't know.
Where it's not like guns with cats as silencers or whatever.
Oh, you mean what
You know,
Postal
where
went
po-
to?
where it
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
the Postal that I knew.
No, so when it started off, it was they played it pretty straight.
Yeah.
Played it
Yeah,
pretty
so I
straight.
came into this with a whole different idea of what I was going to see. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it was...
Yeah, so it's cool.
Apparently the original.
Okay, so when I first played Postal, I downloaded it illegally on an IRC chat room.
Oh, wow.
So I was in a Wares channel. And
That's where we used to live.
in the IRC chat room.
Back in the 40s.
And I downloaded this. I would have been about year 5 or 6.
And I think I got it off you.
98 or something.
Probably put it on some floppy disks.
And when I
was
was downloading
7.
it, not only was I pirating it, it was also banned in Australia. So
I-
I was genuinely concerned I was going to get in trouble for having that.
I still have a newspaper article about the banning of Postal in Australia because they made the game sound so amazing in the article.
Yeah, it's like the best plug they could have done.
Yeah, they said because they were describing it's like, oh, if you could take cover behind explosive barrels and if you shoot them, they'll set someone on fire and stuff that sounded like.
And you're there going, yeah, man.
Oh wow,
How do I get in on this?
Yeah, it sounds so interactive and so
Yeah.
what's the word we use?
Emergent.
Emergent
So much so-
gameplay.
Hey, we emerged the shit out of that game.
We did because
Yeah.
Postal was fucking awful.
Oh,
But in multiplayer, you could set someone on fire, and then if they touched someone while they were on fire, that person would get set on fire.
Dwarf Fortress logic.
We played tag.
I think it's just fire logic.
Good.
Yeah.
Then things are combustible.
Well, it's not like an instant I touch you and you combust.
That is true. I'm not that combustible.
No, we need to sweat a lot more.
No, that's not true. One time, James had a
What
shirt.
is this going to
He
be?
had a shirt soaked in cordial.
Yes. I don't know how I ended up soaked in cordial, but it
Oh, well, I
happened.
remember.
Oh,
So-
like, not like unmixed cordial. just
unmixed
so
cordial. Someone had dumped it on him. We were scouts. That's right. James and I were scouts. They poured cordial over him, and he thought, "Oh, I'll let my shirt dry by the fire."
I am learning things about you guys.
It was scary how
Cor-
that thing went up.
Cordial is flammable.
Who
That's-
knew?
that's
Apart
what we
from
took
you
from
guys.
this. Yeah.
Like, until then.
The combination
Yeah.
of the sugars and the polyester.
That's
I
what
I
I
don't
was
know what
thinking
magic happened,
once.
but that thing
Yeah.
erupted.
So James is somewhat flammable.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Postal Redux is being made, and I recommend not paying money for it.
Yeah, if you can find an RC channel,
Yeah.
jump in. There's some Wares bots.
Maybe less
Do-
than $1 you're okay with if you just want to experience history. But it was a shit game when it came out. It's interesting historically.
Yeah.
But
There's no way a torrent doesn't exist the day that it happens.
no, of course
But
not.
we would not
It's-
condone
it's
such
the internet.
a
They never do it.
Only
No.
Merc channels.
Go to GOG. Actually, I think I have the original Postal on GOG.
Yeah.
It probably looks pretty much exactly the same as the
Yeah.
up-resed.
Yeah.
The redo.
Yeah.
Redux.
Anyway, shall we talk about some real games?
Oh, leave. Postal.
we have
yes,
to?
let's do it.
Okay. Let's talk. Okay, let's not. Let's talk about the new Dark Souls game that was announced this week and came out today. It's called Slashy Souls.
Oh, they verby-nouned it.
They did. And you might think, well, that's just someone referring to Dark Souls. No, it's a legit Dark Souls product. Released by Bandai Namco.
I don't know if
Oh
From
my
Software has
God.
anything to do with
I
this.
don't know. From certainly does not have anything to do with it because not only is it a runner, it's a really shit runner.
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize that it was actually an official thing because I just thought it looked like a really shit runner.
I
Yeah.
am just mouth agape in awe at this.
What are you being chased by?
That's obviously missed.
Yeah, just sadness.
Yeah, get away
Pushing
from
onward.
it. Ravel them souls. So when you
What is that roll?
when you play it, it has pre-order Dark Souls 3 at the top, but pre-order at GameStop.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Pre-order Dark Souls 3 at GameStop after you play this amazing game.
Why?
Pre-ordering Dark Souls 3 is the only good
Oh,
thing to come from this game.
Parallax looks nice. I like
Look
the
at those
background.
freaking zombie
Yeah,
things.
no, let's just look at the
right.
background for a second.
The background is not bad. I'll
The
give it
background
that.
looks nice.
The sprite for the souls.
Let's ignore
not bad.
all the animation
That was
and look at that thing.
I want to play
the
this
night
game
looks okay.
so badly.
Well, it wasn't
It
on the
looks
Australian
so
iOS store
bad.
when I looked, and it wasn't, and my Android devices weren't compatible apparently, so I haven't got to physically play it yet.
No,
It
you're
looks a
getting
lot
misted.
easier than Dark Souls.
Well, yeah, it hasn't died yet.
Why are you getting coins?
You know all that damn Dark Souls coins.
Yeah, this is a thing.
How do you get past that?
You just quit the game.
Yeah,
It's got a damage boost past it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It seems it's a free runner. How does it stop?
It's taking a bit of a beating for,
Okay.
Oh,
for
what
a
has
Dark
happened
Souls
now?
game.
Yeah, they should be dead many times over. They got holy light. They praise the sun, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Do we have any more terrible games to talk about?
I'm exhausted looking at that.
I got another gimmick to talk about.
Go for it.
So this week, you may remember Media Molecules in your game Dreams.
Game?
Well,
Oh,
that's the thing.
yes.
I've been really interested to see what Dreams is like. What they did, they released an hour of footage, which showed them building 3 city spaces. So what I've done is I've
This was the module one, yeah?
the module.
How they made the module, and by repeating that,
Yes,
created
yes.
a cityscape?
So I increased it 5,000 times
Thank
the
you, 'cause
speed,
this was an
so
hour
you can
long.
watch an hour and a minute. It's not the best way to understand what's going on.
Well,
If you've got motion sickness,
I
screw
still
you, I
don't
guess.
truly understand what this thing is.
Well, Dreams really does seem to be, it is like an art tool in many ways. The problem, I think, with it is, compare this, I'm going to compare it to Mario Maker. In an hour, you can make several full levels. In an hour, Media Molecules artists, using the tools that they created, makes a bunch of abstract small city
Well,
spaces.
that's what because I kind of skimmed through it when I was watching this, and I was like, oh, there's still like it wasn't like anything. I didn't see some sweet polar bear in a bunch of clouds, like these really beautiful scenes, which I've seen.
We've seen all the
things,
trailers, yeah.
And so
I think in this last round city they're doing where they start colouring it up near the end, that starts to look pretty nice. And I think it looks like an amazing tool set.
Well, it looks like architecture porn.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But
I really wanted, because I saw it, and I wanted to skip 3/4 of the way through and just have my mind blown.
Yeah.
And I think I was a little disappointed
yeah,
when
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't.
I was like,
oh man,
they're
this is a
building the
city, instead of, wow, look
Yeah.
at this Play-Doh.
I
because
also
they've got that city in the trailer where they're going through on like a speeder bike.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, the show is basically making that. It's like, no, not really, just like a block.
I think I went into it with the wrong expectations.
Well, I don't know what to expect. Like to me, at the moment, it just seems like an art tool.
A very cool art tool.
Yeah,
which is
very
cool.
But the
cool
thing is,
one.
it's like that was to me the failure with like Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet was an okay game wrapped around a really impressive set of tools, which took a lot of work to understand and make anything good with. And then you look at obviously Super Mario Maker, really limited in what you can do, but people can
I'm
do
still
it.
waiting-
Easy to pick
still
up
waiting for some levels from
immediately.
you.
Haven't I given you any of my levels?
No, no.
Oh, no, you'd have to get the. I
have to
borrowed
get the-
his game. I have
yeah.
to give it back. I
Yeah.
published one, and then I stopped playing.
But it was a solid one.
yeah, I
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I don't-
It just says "fuck you, James."
Oh, thanks, man.
No, it's all like question marks.
Yeah.
It's just flat level.
yeah,
I mean,
And you can
then
just go hit the fuck you, James.
yeah, you just walk on music note blocks
Yeah.
because that's fun.
That's-
Everyone
Oh,
likes
it's
doing that.
one of those don't touch the button levels where it just takes you through.
Like, the Dreams is sort of. I'm trying to figure out where it fits in like the traditional because it's like a poster child for PS4.
Yeah.
It's a big thing that Sony's brought out a few times. It doesn't have to be a game. Not everything has to be a video game, but
Yeah, it could be like a Quantic Dream thing.
so it has emotions in it.
Actually, that's me. I like a lot of Quantic
Yeah.
Dream things.
Yeah,
just not their plots.
Could I get a .webm of just that?
Of just what?
Just
There's plenty of those things.
good.
You should have seen me hitting on listeners last week.
Oh, good. I'm a little glad I didn't.
Ah,
Are you gonna pick it up?
Dreams. Fuck no.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have time for that. I don't.
If you had kids,
Yeah, kids like building shit.
yeah.
I reckon if I was a creator of things, then I would use it to create something, but I wouldn't use it to entertain myself. I wouldn't buy it for entertainment reasons. I'd buy it as a tool.
What do you think the time till Dick Forest is? From release to
Oh,
Dick Forest.
they've done-
-10.
They've done that internally. Like they've already Dick Forested out.
That,
They're there. It's
yeah,
packaged.
that's some dev's background picture right now.
Well, it'd be interesting if they had like a viewer or something like that. Like I think there is the opportunity for that thing for someone to create a space for me to explore. So someone could build some really cool thing that I can dig in and have a look inside, and I don't know, maybe discover something. Maybe, but
Dick Forest.
Dick Forest, but
Look through the round. Play school. Look through the round window.
what?
Dick Forest, arch window, Dick
Oh, I
Marsh.
think, what if?
Circle window,
Actually,
the Dick
I tell you
Mountains.
what might get me there is if every time you built one of these, you could place like a portal in it somewhere, which would lead to someone else's. So you could kind of like explore through like finding portals inside these environments.
Could the portals look like the portals in Prey?
Yes, so it's sphincters. But
Yeah.
you make whatever portal you want. You can.
Well, what other sort of portal would you have in Dick Forest?
What a sphincter portal.
It's Sphincter or go home.
Sphincter or nothing. Should we move on from the sphincter talk? Let's see what
Yeah.
Mr. Producer says. Hey, he's fine with it. Okay,
He's
yeah,
alright
yeah.
with sphincters.
I
Let's-
think he's kind of just been like, look, I'm surprised it took this long to get on the dicks.
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff to talk about, so let's keep going. Let's keep going up in like things. I want to talk about the Techromancer. You remember the Techromancer?
This is the game from Spider
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that
the Mars
I'm
one.
hoping will be the one which is a huge success.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hope all their every time their games
Well,
come out, they are.
They're the masters of competent.
Well, yeah, but they're also ambitious, competent.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gameplay trailer left me underwhelmed.
Oh, for Techromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're a small, yeah, they're like a B grade company that keep doing big RPGs and trying lots of stuff each time.
With interesting
Well, I
ideas.
went into it not knowing
Yeah.
it was a B grade company
Oh yeah,
because it doesn't look like it.
no, and every time they make something, I'm just like, will this be the one?
Yeah.
Will this be
Like,
the one
it
that
gets,
breaks
it gets
it?
that little bit better. And I'm like, oh, are they learning every time? Because they're sticking to the same kinds of games, so they're learning lessons and moving on.
What was Mars Warlogs was the previous Mars one they did?
Yeah, and
but I
then
don't even know if it's the
Oh,
same
did
universe.
they do that? Because I played that.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
And then there
For a
was
bit.
there was
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Well, it's
for-
the same with
like,
the Orc
let's do
one of Orcs
Yeah,
and Men.
of Orcs and Men,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's fun.
Surface
bit.
level, they're really,
Yeah.
really good. And then if you scratch just a little bit deeper.
Oh, they're gonna get there though.
But yeah,
I believe in these guys.
yeah.
well, I didn't know
I'm
it was the
their
Mars
rally,
Warlords guys. Hell yeah, I'm rooting for them.
They're fun.
There's some
Anyway,
real talent in there.
yeah.
There's some good ideas.
As it shows.
I like seeing them develop. They're just like they're like a little
Yeah.
team I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
It's like I don't go for the big sports team. I just want the little
Come on,
the
Spider.
little country town team
yeah,
that's
the
gonna
little
come up.
underdog devs.
Yeah.
And each of the
Underdevs.
universes are really unique, and like there's interesting takes on them, and I want them. Go team.
Okay, let's keep up the interesting universe talk.
Yep.
Let's look at sort of our final look before release of Samarost 3. Now, Angus, because you're young, have you even heard of Samarost?
I played Samaros 2.
Good
Yeah.
boy, James.
Well, I've heard of them. I don't really like
Fuck
them.
you.
Oh,
You don't like
yes!
Samarost
I'm
games?
not in the shit this time.
Boo!
Oh, thank God.
Oh, they're right. They're just I don't really care.
I just thought it was
They're,
pretty.
They're very pretty.
The Samarost games I took as the adventure games that continued sort of the style of adventure game as Goblins, except without the frustration, horribleness that the Goblins games could become. Yeah, I don't remember. You can't screw up in the Samarost games, and they're sort of like screens that are half toys, half puzzles.
I think when I say I don't really like it, it's actually nothing to do with the game. I really like the art. Like the art looks gorgeous. It's just more the style. It's like when I was growing up. That was a
Little bit too Little Prince for you?
no, just like that kind of like vaguely insecty. It's kind of a bit grungy. Like the guy's a little scary. Like it's just more the art style.
Oh, they're all friends. Look at that guy.
like
He's friendly.
elongated
look at his-
tentacles
yeah,
and
like his
chitinous
floppy
spines
nose and
He's
I don't know.
basically Snuffleupagus.
Because I played the second one
They're stacking bugs.
with the mindset of like going to a gallery and looking at pretty things.
Yeah.
I
So-
wasn't really there to have fun. I was there to chill out and look at some cool stuff.
Yeah.
like that thing kind of makes me uneasy.
That's good. That guy looks like he's straight from Missionarium,
So
which was their last game. They haven't released anything since then, as far as I'm
That's what
aware.
it was.
Yeah, good game.
So yeah, it looks.
So it's out next month.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to get
It's
it.
very pretty.
You'll see it on this show as I talk about it and say,
Yeah.
it's great, James, you were wrong.
I'm not saying it's bad.
I know.
I'm saying it's not for me.
But I'm saying it should be.
I might get it.
That's how it is. All right.
I might get it. Like I wouldn't play it more than once.
What if it's
So
just in browser still?
So I reckon I'd get just as much entertainment from watching a Let's Play.
I'd love...
You're what's wrong with the industry, sir.
Yeah, you're the problem with this industry, sir.
I'm a Let's Player.
Why don't they... Why don't they do... I know it's not Amanita design. I think I said that right. Fuck it if I didn't. The Grow guys, why can't they do like a 30-hour long game?
From Grow Guys.
The Grow
As in,
games.
like GROW? Those
Yeah.
tiny little ones where you get the little
love
the men
those.
and the elements.
Oh, I love them
loved
so
those.
much.
Yeah, like RPG elements.
They've only
Get it
got,
all the way in.
Weirdly, they've only got a couple of games on mobile.
Well, because I only know their browser stuff.
Yeah. It's like, oh, obviously you'd port this to mobile. Nah, they got like a couple of unique games on there. They're
Really?
fucking good too, though. They're all free too.
Oh man.
Bro, love it. Okay, let's keep going with games. Okay, what else we got? We got, okay, let's deal with weird worlds. Let's go with Necropolis.
Oh, I'm
This
excited
is
for this
Hairbrain
one.
Scream?
Hairbrain schemes.
We've all been a
makers
Hairbrain
of
Scream.
Shadowrun. And good friends of the show. How many times have we talked to Mitch?
2 or 3.
He just kept coming up every time they did a
Yeah.
project. He's like, oh, I want to talk. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We should talk to them
Mitch
about
is a
this.
good guy. Like, he's
So obviously, after you've done a whole bunch of isometric RPGs, the next thing to do is a third-person, randomly generated
It's so pretty.
action roguelike multiplayer crazy thing. I don't know if they actually... Oh, no, they're definitely not. I remember the original model design. I always thought was a shark that was like an anamorphic shark. But there's a ram there now, so I don't know what's going on. It's got a beautiful style, and bringing in like roguelike permadeath into an action third-person multiplayer game.
You've got me thinking about like a Dark Souls Street Sharks game.
It's I like that. That we'll nail that one down.
Yeah.
But it's like Dark Souls very heavily influencing it.
Well, because it was touted as the video that I saw at least was that it was the roguelike Dark Souls.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
So
I'm
it's-
so
except
on board
with,
with, that.
It's
Oh my
Chalice,
god!
it's Chalice Dungeons.
Oh, I was in, and now
Chalice Dungeons with friends.
yeah,
No, but Chalice Dungeons.
challenge under with
See-
friends that you might keep afterwards.
See, I think when you drop the Dark Souls word, you got to think
Yeah.
like, what do you like about Dark Souls that is or isn't in this thing? And when it's randomly generated, like
The bits that I saw had cool looking lore. There was the
Yeah.
like the Archmage and the eye thing that was going about talking at you, and it seemed really cool. It looked like a cool universe that I would get immersed into.
Okay, I'm going to push the show along.
Yep.
'cause we
Yep.
got heaps of stuff going. So one last
Go for it.
game in our Hot Looks.
Hot
We can-
Looks.
The funnest universe of them all, The Church in the Darkness.
Oh, this one disturbed me a bit.
This one, it has less effect without the audio, because
Yeah.
this is a game, basically it's Jonestown the game.
And
We've
you're
got,
being indoctrinated
I don't
through
know
the
this
intro.
one.
this is a sort of an RPG based in a cult. And you have been brought into the cult. I think you're some sort of an undercover agent. And it's all about sort of Soviet social political time. These cultists have moved down to South America, and they're preaching all love, and the government's trying to stop our freedom of religion and everything. And it's all a little bit creepy inside, and things fall apart.
Cults really scare me.
Cults can be terrifying.
Cults scare
I think
me.
if cults don't scare you, that would be
well,
more worrying.
I just think I'd be very susceptible to a cult. I think that they'd sucker me in pretty easy.
No, James, you'd be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just a whole bunch of friends who love each other.
Don't do that. Well,
Not on the show. Yeah, I think like this is very simply put together. You know, it's a very simple environment, but
Yeah.
I can't think of any games that have explored this space. So it's good sort of narratively, but it's also like I imagine it working like a bit of a mystery adventure.
I also think there's a bit of a educational component to it as well.
Yeah.
Because cults, genuinely are kind of scary things.
Kids don't hear about Heaven's Gate enough.
And, exploring how
I
they
know
work.
what that means.
You don't know. You know what drinking the Kool-Aid means, though, right?
Oh, I know that story.
Heaven's
Is that
Gate.
Heaven's Gate? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and
Phew, I thought
think,
I was being really ignorant for a second.
I think being exposed to some of the systems and mechanisms that, that get people involved in that kind of thinking, it's worth it.
A few of my friends went to the main Scientology center in LA for a laugh.
Yeah.
And they came back really believing in
Yeah.
it for like a day.
Ah,
and
so-
then they
Oh,
wiped it
man.
off their brain and said, what the fuck happened? Why did I say those things? They
Wow.
believe people sweated glass.
That. Wow.
Where you go into the room and the dyads.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway,
whatever. Yeah.
the
They're just
church in the
pumping
darkness.
methamphetamines into the air.
And what I think is interesting, because at the end of the show I do the credits and I list the platforms.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that's focusing on PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Yeah.
So they're actually aiming for a wide release. I thought it would just be a small indie game,
Yeah.
but they're
That's
really trying to
good
get
if-
as much as possible.
If it's a new place that hasn't been like tracked yet,
Yeah.
awareness is good.
Okay, before we do some news, it's time to talk about Omnibus. Omnibus is being published by Digital Devolver, and somebody made it.
So I played a little bit of Omnibus.
Me too.
Did
Did you like it, James?
Nope.
I think it's
It
really
was-
good.
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'll tell you what it's got, Paul. It's got ideas.
It's full of
It
ideas.
is if you love ideas, this game is for you.
So many ideas.
If you want anything good, okay, look, if you're gonna make a game,
Yeah.
like try to like what I don't like is this like making a game like the game's poorly it's poorly
Holy cow.
it's poorly designed. It plays like shit.
How it's not poorly designed. It's amazingly designed.
I saw the Steam trailer
And-
and I wasn't sure if it was being
and-
serious.
And it's like, oh, we can't make a good game, so let's just make it bad and make it that's our thing.
I actually do disagree with that, legit.
Okay, so
Like I think like you might say like some like the art style, like they did it simply as a bit of a
our style I
cop-out.
have no problem with.
Yeah. I think the entire thing is about short, quick challenges, and they've based a physics
Which I'll be
around it.
okay
Well, yeah,
with
it's
if,
those stick dismount videos, but in a bus game.
if I thought any of those if I thought any of those challenges were good.
I don't know. I
The ones
quite
I
like
did,
them.
like there was one where I had to chase a train for coins. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. And I thought I could figure out like a good strategy for how to get
Yeah.
these things. And I got to like this rail bridge. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. You
And I'm
mentioned this to
going to
me.
go over the rail bridge. No, I clipped through the rail bridge. Like what? The train goes over the rail bridge, but not James.
It's just wacky. It's wacky, James.
No, it's not. It's bad. No, look.
oh, look at all its
Oh
quirks.
man, okay. I was also really bad at this level.
Oh yeah. Well, learning to land the bus on because this thing when you're in the air, you're free spinning.
Yeah.
And getting that orientation right does take a bit of practice.
Yeah. No, I
But
Better.
that's the majority of the game, learning that physics. Because once you leave the ground, that's when the game actually puts some difficulty into
Kitchen
it.
talk. Here we go. Whoa.
I think this is.
I never got it. I tried a few times.
Oh, well, you never got this.
No.
See, but that's the thing. That's the major gameplay mechanic of the game: air control. So if you're not getting the air control, if you're not pulling off stunts, because the thing they have stunt levels. They've got races, they've got little challenges, they've got stunt levels.
How was that a bad land? You were upright.
Oh, but no, I hit the side first.
Yeah, that's killed
You
me.
got to get there. You got to
Land
jump
on your
on it.
wheels. Everyone's fine.
I said no. I it's a small game, but I think for what it is, which is just giving you a bunch of little challenges in this, and admittedly stupid aesthetic.
Oh, no way.
I actually have no problem with the aesthetic.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
but it's you know. But I thought aesthetically, not so much the graphical style, more the we can just put anything like any model here. Let's put a hat on the board. Now the hat's your enemy. That sort of just like randomness for randomness' sake. Is it like the plane's 404? The plane, like okay, it's a reference to a thing that exists. Gonna smash this building. Pew, pew.
Getting through that building.
missed
Is that
I
a
rolled
building
off
of
the
smaller
side.
buildings?
Probably.
Probably, because why not?
Why not? This is a very why not game, but it's fast restarts, and it's just about like it's like a little weird, normally physics-based puzzle.
I have,
Well, not-
I have a feeling when I played this, I really because I just skipped through, and because I tried to do the second level, and I was like, man, this is really hard, and I didn't do it, and I think I landed on some pretty shitty ones
yeah.
when I went through.
Omnibus.
And
you're the
eventually, I
greatest
kind
hero.
of gave up on trying to find like something I
good
enjoyed in
levels.
here, and I went and played free mode.
I think the free mode just doesn't have much to
And
it.
free mode just seemed like a giant waste of time.
Yeah, because I mean, like the whole point of it is miniature challenges. So okay, well, I got to learn to use these speed ramps, these jumps, and learn to get over, through it. It's
Not
like,
do
oh wait,
that.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'll try to
Yeah.
turn. Oh wait, I'm in the air control. Shit,
Yeah,
gotta
this
wait for
is
the
the
wheels
level
to touch
where
it.
you learn to just not do that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't turn again until ground touch it, and that sort of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
like it's not a masterpiece, and we were talking about like whether a game is like important to play. No, this game is not important to play. It is A bunch of time-wasting shit.
Well, this is that question we had at the very start of how much polish does a game need?
Yeah, and I don't know if you could, like... I mean, it's not polishing a turd, but, you know, it's like...
Covering it in glitter.
Yeah, how much do you want to polish a hamburger? Like...
I think I'm probably a little harsher on this than I should be. Mainly because, like, this style of game at the moment where... There's not much to the craft. Like, it's
Well,
sort of like, all right, we've got Unity and we've thrown some shit together.
Well, because I was sort of going to put it in, like, in the, like, ironic simulator area, which is a terrible genre. It's like, Goat Simulator, yeah, that was great. We can stop now.
Because then You Are
well,
Toast
yeah,
and all of those came out.
Yeah, or admittedly, I Am Bread does actually... I think I quite don't mind the gameplay.
Yeah.
I Am
Really?
Bread. Yeah.
Oh, I was
I'm
the
quite good
opposite.
at it.
I couldn't, and it frustrated me that I couldn't.
Oh, see, that
But yeah,
that falls in
I
more curve.
only didn't like it because I was terrible.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
fully aware of that.
But more like, you know, your cat simulators and everything, where it's just like, what do you do? It's like, you just walk around.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's not really... You can lie in the sun. Remember that cat simulator where you could lie in the sun was one of their big selling points? Not really compelling.
Saw a cat doing that today.
Oh, good for
Line-
it.
line and
Anyway, I think that's enough Omnibus.
That's a feature,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think.
it's a thing.
Although that, actually, can we bring back that level? Sorry, Mr. Producer? Because this is, because I skip everything that tells me what to do in games. This is where you start doing the stunts. And you start like, I've got to actually control my flips and everything.
Oh, you're doing your Ollie
Yeah,
360.
it's like, oh no, I got to restart. Yeah, and once I got it, I'm like, okay.
Oh, all right.
Like, time to get serious.
One of the features I liked in this was it was really easy to rage quit. You just hit escape, bam,
It's out.
Desktop,
I'm
back
like-
to the desktop.
Spaghetti sham reversal.
I can get it. And that's the thing, like the games, trying to get all that in. It's like I'm actually like deliberately trying to do this stuff to a degree, and you can get good at it, which is like if you can get good at a game, like that means that it's something, at least to me. Like a game that's terrible, it doesn't really matter what you do. In this, you like sure lots of random shit happens,
Is this
but you can
even
actually get good at it.
real?
Yeah, it's real.
What I'm looking at?
It's good.
I'm so blown away.
Oh,
by
this one, man,
all
I
of
hated
these
this level
text
so
boxes
much.
Oh.
And the mini golf courses that you're driving on.
I got the fireworks. I really sucked at this level.
I
But
think
like,
this is
I
what I
got
mean
it
by-
after like 5 goes.
I think this is what I mean by I landed on the bad ones because
Yeah.
like this was the next one I landed on.
from after the first one.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're not even used to the game.
Yeah, and
yet.
I'm like, fuck you, game.
It's a hard level.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Omnibus. It's a game that exists.
It's a game that made James feel stupid, so he hated it.
Okay.
Yep.
Shall we do some news?
Yep, let's do it.
I got really good news for you. Kanye West is in the news again with a
Good.
video game related thing. Apparently now that he's fixed wolves, do either of you guys get that reference?
Yeah.
Good.
He fixed them. They got fixed because they were broken before.
Yeah, I'm a fixed wolves. It's time to announce the next album, obviously, which is going to be called TurboGrafx 16 for reasons.
Because he liked it.
Yeah, he liked the TurboGrafx when he was a kid and put it in.
Do you think he's going to ask Zuckerberg for money to fund his album?
Nah, he's done that.
He's done
now.
that. He's done
How's
it.
he
doesn't-
making
he
an
doesn't
album
repeat
while
himself.
he's in 3.2, like 32 million in debt or whatever it was?
He's 53 or 56, I can't remember. But that's personal debt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not business debt.
Whatever.
I'm a child. I don't know money.
Kanye
right.
West. I love him. I don't listen to his music, but I love him.
You like watching the train wreck that is Kanye West.
Okay.
Well, he's the Donald Trump of music.
He is.
Where he's really funny over there.
Titan Quest, that old gem, has got a new update.
You love Titan Quest.
I never cared for it, but I don't care about Diablo games generally. Diablo style games, ARPG, whatever. They have finally removed GameSpy because GameSpy doesn't exist.
Oh, God.
So you can do multiplayer. I do love like Titan Quest has had some of the longest legs. Like not the longest ever because we were talking about what had was it Rogue that had an update recently?
Well, NetHack keeps going for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, like games. Anyway, if you like Titan Quest, hey, you can play it online again. Awesome. Okay, Naughty Dog was in the bad books today because they did an unconscionable thing. Now, Mr. Producer, we have some footage of this crime, this absolutely heinous crime which was perpetrated. See that painting?
Oh my god. Should I be in the room?
That-
I'm so young seeing this
that-
level of crime.
That painting, that one there, that's from Assassin's Creed.
That's it, really.
Yeah, an artist put in a concept art from Assassin's Creed in a photo frame.
So
And it was on screen for 2 seconds,
the-
and people tried to think it was a big deal.
the lesson here is that whenever you put placeholder art in anything, always make sure it's terrible. Because if
that's true.
Yeah.
That's a great
that's all
piece
it
of
is.
yeah.
It's just like someone's like, we need something for the video. Just look, Google image search, find something, we'll fix it later.
Yeah.
Completely forgot. I would be 90% sure that's what happened.
Yeah. I know, it's like, it came up, so I put it out, and I went, oh shit.
We'll
They
go
replaced
fix
it like half an hour later and said sorry. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying the sorry was important.
Yeah.
But it's not really...
How dare they?
Yeah. I did like... I always like how people try to put their emotions on everyone else. So the big push I saw from a lot of people was, but if it was the other way around, people would have been up in arms.
No, I don't think anyone gives...
I don't...
You don't get to decide what would have happened hypothetically if
Yeah,
something
yeah.
occurred.
Ubisoft, feel free. You know what? You can take one of my photographs.
You want to take some of our show art and put it into...
You can't have any of mine.
Yeah.
Another...
Like, you'd use any, I'm coming
Assassin's
after you.
Creed, go for it.
Yeah, I want to be in the next Assassin's Creed Chronicles.
Yeah, there's the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like to go, it's obviously was malicious because they went to the trouble of taking out the pirate.
No!
It's like, you know how hard that is in Photoshop?
Someone went...
It's a button.
Or, it's even just like, they just put the texture there and like, it's just like cropped it out.
No,
Because...
no. I think it's got a little bit more speech.
Yeah.
A little, like, you would have got like his cape.
Oh, okay.
You'd see cape and leg in the
Sure.
top one if pirate was still there.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh no!
Okay, Rise of the Tomb Raider has been very successful in its PC release. In its first month, it sold 3 times as much as it did on the Xbox One.
Heck yeah.
Jesus.
I was one of them.
Good work. And I want to be one of them. I just haven't.
That
the money aside yet.
genuinely surprises me.
Yeah, I was kind of
PC
surprised
Master
myself.
Race, eh? Yeah.
Although I like playing everything, so that's fine. Whatever. We are looking at the impending news about the return of Alan Wake because Remedy trademarked Alan Wake's return. A little on the nose, but let's look forward to that.
Yeah.
Alan Wake Revengeance.
The Revengeance, that would be good. The Revengeancing. We'll move it up a bit more.
Alan Awakens.
The Consortium The Tower,
Alan
which we
Waker.
spoke about a few weeks ago when we played the original Consortium game, failed on Kickstarter. Couldn't get enough entrants. It's gone to Fig instead. I don't know if it will fare any better, and we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, how is Fig going?
Fig's doing all right, but not all their projects setting things afire.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have the exposure that Kickstarter
Yeah.
does. Anyway, because we have a new Fig project coming up. You know what? I'm going to skip one of these. And the final last one, new Pokemon was announced. Got nothing to tell you about it. They just had a long video saying these are the old ones
Yeah.
and a new one's
It's-
coming.
It's a
And
cute
Moon.
It's a cute video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the video.
I skipped through it looking for the new stuff.
No, I watched
Yeah.
it.
I was like,
it's-
where's the new stuff? New
it's-
stuff, new
it's
stuff, new
sweet.
stuff.
I was looking for news.
I have no nostalgia for Pokemons. Okay, before we get into Game Club, let's quickly run through crowdfunding. And we actually got some really interesting ones.
Crowdfunding.
So we're going to go straight on to the Fig project we were talking about. The Fig project is, of course, Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic Blunt Punch. Because Jay and Silent Bob are still relevant culturally.
Apparently.
Yes.
That's the thing.
So Kevin Smith, still trying to be relevant. I'm really mean to Kevin Smith.
When he's not making Canadian
why are you so
horror
mean to
movies.
Kevin
Because he hasn't, I don't like any of his movies. Man, whatever. Even Clerks, he ruined Clerks with the director's cut. It's unwatchable now. It's,
I like Chasing Amy.
You know what? I've never seen Chasing
Yeah,
Amy.
that's good.
And Mallrats is inoffensive. It's
Yeah.
got the line about the schooner. A schooner is a sailboat.
Yeah.
That's a good line. And Jay and Silent Bob are still fun characters. It's just, well, I'm not a big fan of Kevin Smith. Anyway, so Kevin Smith is making a video game. Wait, no he's not. It's being made by the guys that made Super Combo Man. Now, Super Combo Man was a Kickstarter game from a couple of years ago now. And I figured, well, you know what? They've got no footage of the new game. I own Super Combo Man. It's in my Steam list. I can see it. Why don't I give it a bell?
All right. How was it?
Well, it's really interesting. It's a side-scrolling fighter. It's got this sticker aesthetic, which sort of works and sort of half doesn't work. And it's obviously got a lot of focus on combos, which is a good fighting mechanic generally to have. It's got a lot of...
I kind of see what you mean by like half works and half doesn't work because I really like him.
Yes.
The environment feels like a mistake.
Yeah, some parts are sticker, some aren't, but you can't really
Yeah.
tell what's what a lot of the time. And yeah.
Like
Anyway,
if all the background trees had the stickered like white outline,
Well,
something like that.
you'd imagine that everything in the foreground should be a sticker, but then the other stuff doesn't really marry with it. Like it should, I don't know, feel like...
Well, yeah, because if the
more of a
background's going to be
washed-out
one
book.
thing, then it probably shouldn't have parallax or something like that.
Yes, exactly, something like that. Anyway, the combat's quite satisfying. I really enjoyed some of the combos they're doing in like different enemies, like you need to wait and parry and things like that. But I never got quite good at it. And then I realized that, hey James, hit me. Ouch! Because that's the kind of delay you get.
Oh.
The actual input delay is huge. And this is after multiple updates. It's better now, apparently.
Yeah.
It's made it unplayable. So, the guys making this game have made a completely unplayable game. It looked alright. It's got some good systems. It doesn't work.
Oh.
I don't have a lot of faith in them at this point. And I don't think Kevin Smith is necessarily, like, the creator that's going to shape them into what they need to be.
I like Kevin Smith.
You can like him.
Yeah.
I don't dictate what people
It's the
can
same
like.
way you cannot.
I didn't see Tusk.
Tusk has one of the worst scenes
Yeah.
in cinema history.
Okay, I like Kevin Smith. Don't watch Tusk.
That said, a few people I know thought it was the best scene ever.
Oh, man.
So they just pointed a camera at Johnny Depp, just let him talk for like 20 minutes.
It's a movie you can't watch sober.
What? Really?
You
It's-
just can't.
And so it's Johnny Depp's stream of consciousness.
No, it's him thinking he's being really funny.
Oh.
He's being a fresh character. That's not. I don't think that's the accent he's doing. Anyway,
Well,
it's
no,
not
because
good.
he's trying to do a Quebecois.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. We can
Because
move on from that.
apparently
Yeah.
that's Tusk was the first in his Canada horror movie trilogy.
Which is definitely going to happen because everything
Second
Kevin
one
Smith
titled
says.
Yoga Hoses.
There we go. There. Anyway, if you want to back for a copy of that game, $18 American. Anyway, let's move on.
Get super hot.
Keep going. Yeah, super hot. Do it. Okay, next up, a game which they shouldn't call this because it's a terrible name for a game. Failure. That's just like setting yourself up for terrible headlines. Like
What
I'm
is
going to. Oh, I hope your Kickstarter isn't a failure. Okay. So it is a weird sort of grid-based, well, hex grid-based, sorry,
Nice.
RTS with a story written by the guy who wrote Binary Domain.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
All right. Well, that's a nice.
It's a
segue,
very
but
substantial thing. Now, the game looks quite attractive. The problem with a strategy game is you can't tell shit from a cinematic trailer. Thankfully, they've got a nice long gameplay. Like, we're going to explain the game to you, and what it seems to be is more of a. You have no direct control of units. It's sort of like tower defense, except you can place anywhere, and the tower defenses, like, they're not just like for defense. You are attacking people, so you'll get a tower that has like an attack component to it, which you can then upgrade or modify by combining it. Like, it's basically got a card interface on top.
Do you
So
place
can
like rally flags or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
It's just like automatic from there. From what I can tell, I'm not an expert on it, but it's not a rally flag sort of thing. So you have to design, your attack and defense strategy with a number of different base units, which can be combined, which I thought was the interesting thing. It's like basically you're saying like, okay, I've got an attack that makes creeps because it kind of looked like a MOBA, but you're not playing the guys. You're playing the creep
kinda
towers.
Spawning them out.
Yeah, you're spawning them out.
Can you change the terrain at all?
Not that I've seen, but I'm sure that, obviously we have block things with it, so I guess you can to a degree. It's really interesting. If you're interested in a strategy game of that ilk, go and watch the game, but it'll do better than I did. Anyway, if you wanted to back a failure, see, it's just a terrible name. Just don't do it. That comes in at, you guys can look
Even if
up.
it was just like slash failure or something like that, going with its cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Or maybe like /fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and we're also looking at £15 for that. So it's getting up there.
Okay.
So I really think they need a gameplay demo out there.
Yeah.
'Cause if I can't understand
What's the lineage of this? Like, why am I getting £15?
the people involved, well, it's supposed to be like a full length sort of campaign
All
through
right.
it, and they've got a lot more ideas for levels coming through. The actual lineage of the people involved, that was more interesting. Except all I remember was the binary domain guy. And let's not hold up. You can look it up if you care. Whatever. Let's keep going. Okay, Lobotomy Talk Corporation. Some people saw Fallout Shelter, and they recently watched Cabin in the Woods, and they made this game.
I like both those things.
Yeah, I'm so on board with every word you've said.
And I was like, seems a little derivative. Maybe I'll skip it. Then I thought about it because it really, really takes on that whole. We're basically using monsters as a power source. So you have to manage the monsters, and they're...
So it's SCP.
SCP?
The Secure, Contain, Protect. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
website
yeah.
and a series of games.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know about that. So thank you for a reference. I've learned a thing.
Excellent. I did one thing.
Yeah. But the fact that, you need to expand to generate more of this, but the more you do, the more dangerous your environment becomes. Pretty good. Plus, the animations and monster designs are freaking awesome. It's very cute. And some of them...
It looks very, what was it? Don't starve.
Don't starve-ish.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, that's like
What?
I love that.
Looks like we Cronenberg the world, Marty.
Anyway,
Oh God!
What is this? I now want. I now want
some of
this
the
so
evil
much.
things are it's really slick put together.
This is amazing.
Yeah, if they keep up with the creativity of a whole bunch of different monsters, then I'm so on board.
Yeah, and there's a lot of there's a lot of writing and narrative around all the monsters as well, which is just fun. That just looks
Same,
like a Reddit
little guy.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah, that looks.
Oh Christ!
What the hell? All
This
right.
is very
This
SCP.
is amazing.
And I can't make that reference again because
See?
no one gets it.
People that aren't me might get it.
But do they matter, really?
That's true. Finally, someone's on board. Okay.
I just really want to be invited back.
So, Lobotomy Corporation, if you want to back to help that see reality, $15 US. So, again, it's but it's got a lot of work, obviously,
That
in it.
15 is sounding more.
Feels good
sounding,
for you?
Yeah,
Feels good to
feeling
you?
pretty good. Yeah.
Bit swish. Bit swish. Okay. Oh. Someone in the chat has so much respect for you right now.
Yes, AJ.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so maybe people other than me don't know. Okay. Next up, I'm going to quickly push these things because we've got to get to binary domain, damn it.
Talk about binary
Okay,
domain.
Nello. Now, Nello is a really confused project, which is super interesting. Nello came with a playable demo, so instead of doing their footage, I went and played it. It is a third-person action game. In the demo, you're mainly just... you've got time-based, you're going to these zones, and then you're fighting a bunch of monsters. Oh, well, robots and shit. Now, you may notice I can push a button and go to a top-down perspective.
Why are you in top-down view now?
Wow.
Because sometimes that's useful, I think.
Because shut up is why.
It's weird.
Wait, is this one of those things where you...
And then I'll go to my melee attack where I'm in like an isometric view.
Oh, wow, and it just becomes a...
And then I drop
beat 'em
back
up.
down to my third-person view for my shooting. And it's all about moving really fast and attacking things. And I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, I find myself worried.
So as my comment I made a brief comment to James that I would cover a game in the show which was super ambitious and had lots and lots of ideas, which was completely unreadable. I've got no fucking idea what I'm trying to do and what I'm killing and everything. But that said, a really interesting groundwork with that sort of view switching and...
I'd love to play any one of these elements as its own game.
I like that you have a tail.
I would like to see this game made by Platinum.
Ha! Yeah.
Oh, why you gotta do that to me?
Oh, it has loadouts. You love
It has loadouts, so you've got 4 guns, and you can mess that. But in the demo, you've only got one choice of guns. So, there's a lot of possibility space. I love just running around this world. Like it's, I don't know, this weird T2 crossed with Matrix Wasteland.
What was the third-person shooter, like vaguely the same art style as this, free to play?
Warframe?
Warframe.
Yeah, that's the one.
Actually, I did get a bit of a Warframe.
Yeah.
Because that's
feel
what I'm
from
getting
this.
from this.
Yeah.
Oh, super moves and
I got no idea what I'm doing. Literally nothing.
You're not dying, and apparently you
Oh
need
no, I died
momentum.
once.
It says you need
Did you?
momentum.
We couldn't tell.
Okay, so Nello, it's really interesting. If you want to back to help them do that, that's at $15. So, okay, what's the last? We got a couple more. I'll quickly mention them because they're there. Otter Kingdom. Someone wants
cancelled.
I know nothing about
cancelled.
Yep.
It cancelled since this afternoon.
I was like, I'm going to look at this for the show.
Otter Kingdom.
Otter Kingdom cancelled.
Wow, it was Zelda with otters.
Yeah.
It looked interesting.
It looked
It's
nice.
dead now.
Guess what? Cancelled.
Cancelled.
I'm guessing they're going to
God.
relaunch that.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing something went wrong with their.
I thought what was interesting
Kickstarter.
was that they don't show the otters off very much. They're like there's a couple of shots and the rest is just landscapes. But the otters look great. Show off those otters. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Go otters.
That's a pickup.
You want to
line
play
I'm
this,
gonna
don't
use
you?
one day.
Okay, so we'll
Show
talk
off
about
those
otters
otters.
if it ever
If
relaunches.
it's uncancelled.
Okay, Dwellers. Dwellers is Dungeon Keeper 3.
Don't we have that?
No, we don't have. Well,
War for the
War for the Overworld is Dungeon Keeper 2.
Oh, this is the one where you're on the surface.
Holy cow.
So yeah, if you know, this one
Yeah.
not as attractive as War of the Overworld.
Yeah.
It's got a more cartoony look, but other than that, it's exactly DK2. What they have here, if you notice that,
There's
there's actually vertical with
Yeah.
that.
The third
Plus-
dimension.
Yeah.
you send them out onto the overworld, which is what was promised in Dungeon Keeper 3.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like
actually seeing this up now because I didn't when I first saw this I didn't actually realize the upness. That it does add like a whole new kind of like strategy to how you build your dungeon. I think it's really cool.
We'll see how it comes out. There's a few bits where they show people going up and it doesn't seem to affect too much really, but I know
I mentioned Dwarf Fortress before, but this is Dungeon Keeper meets Dwarf Fortress and they look exactly like dildos.
Well, as long as we can add dildos to things, it's okay.
Yeah.
So
that's the backer reward.
So it's been being made for quite a long time now. 3 years in development. They want to finish it. Fair enough.
They want to ship.
They want to ship, yeah. If you want to back for the game, it's confused.
Good.
Negative £12.
3 Kickstarter DLCs of your choice for about $12 US. It's in Krona, so it must be a Norwegian guy, is it? God, you look it up yourself.
It's going to take 25 in Terabangs.
Stop making me like try to work out what your price is. Just put it there. Okay, and then the very last game, which is a really interesting take on a currently relatively popular style. This is a horror game called Caden. It's a asymmetrical multiplayer game where a number of people play, the characters, the victims, and one person plays the monster. The monster's role is not necessarily just to kill them, it is to play out the other part of the game, which is a script-making utility. That they've got a rough version of that online for you to play with at the moment. I made a quick horror story called The Skeleton Who Had No Penis.
Okay.
Poor little skeleton man.
Really spooky. So basically, you can create. Well, they've got a few different setups. They've got a haunted house. They've got a lab. You've got all your sort of tropes with that, and then you actually put writing into it. You create a scenario, and then you play in that scenario. And the way they've done it seems really interesting. So the monster acts more like a DM than it does like Evolve or something like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's fun. So you've got other things at the moment like the Friday the 13th game that's being made and everything, which looked really cool. I think this takes it to another level. A lot harder to do because they've got pre-built scenarios you can use, obviously. But
did you play any of them?
No, the game's not playable yet.
Oh, okay.
Only the story creator is there.
Oh.
Yeah. So you craft all the characters.
So people make scenarios and then you act out someone else's scenario?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do it for your own, obviously, as well. But that's so you can make a horror story. It's about telling a horror story. I kind of
like that you want talented people to make good stuff. I shouldn't be writing a horror story. I'm not very good at writing.
You don't even know why the skeleton had no penis.
I don't know why I didn't have a penis.
But I'm guessing because I need to know why
a penis is nothing but flesh, and you're a skeleton, so no skeletons have penises.
Mine's not.
Yeah, I'd be more scared by the skeleton who had a penis.
That means that you can have...
Well, he does now, after the end of my story.
Oh, no.
So, I like that there are people who are talented that can go in and make good content that are basically script that I can kind of go and work to.
So here, basically, this is getting into the builder. What they'll show in a second is actually the way that the levels chunk together, which is what you need. Like no one in QuickTime can make a good-looking level like this stuff. So they're like, okay, we've got a bunch of prefabs. They can chunk together in different ways.
Nice.
Yep. We write a little background of each character, give them the abilities they have to have. It's about storytelling, but then actually having a game on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make your stupid
How many
crazy
characters?
monsters.
Make your penisless skeleton.
Like, as in how many people playing? It's
either 3 or 4 people can be the victims, and the DM is just one person.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because I want this just as like a party game.
Yeah,
like this is like the new generation of those whodunit dinners.
Yeah. It could be like if it works, and it looks like they're doing very good work so far. Very interesting. It could be really cool. Okay, so if you want to back to help that come out at a game level, that's at $15. So
cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we've rushed to the Kickstarters, and we've given ourselves an entire 5 minutes for Binary Domain.
All
Good.
Right.
Okay.
I will honestly leave this up to you guys because I only got the demo.
That's all right. I think the demo was like the beginning of the second act.
The demo left me very confused by everything that was happening.
So Binary Domain was a Sega-developed third-person cover-based shooter, which came back on the Xbox 360 is where I first played it. Which I realized I actually did just play the demo on the Xbox 360. I thought I had it, but I hadn't played the beginning before. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's in a futuristic world where there's robots, and you shoot robots.
Lots and lots of robots.
The game has some funky ideas.
Big
One
robots,
of them being
small
that
robots.
it has voice control, which doesn't work.
So yeah,
Oh, thank God I didn't
yeah,
try.
all right. I tried a lot to get that voice recognition going. I had a headset, like a USB headset, to plug that thing in, and I'm there saying like, yes,
No.
yes, no. And Cheryl's mum is upstairs. Eventually, she comes down laughing, wondering if like the neighbors think I'm being abusive.
You know what? If it did work,
Okay,
I actually liked the form they did it in.
All right, so I think that, like, the idea of putting in the voice chat, I think kind of works and kind of doesn't, because you play a character with a pretty strong personality, and there's like this disconnect of like the agency isn't like has a personality, but then like I'm saying his stuff, just kind of confused me.
And
like, so here I am, grizzled veteran. But
and I
yeah,
thought it was
alright, go cover them.
I can push a button to bring up the possible responses, but I couldn't find a way of just like manually selecting them.
Oh, okay.
I got that in the demo.
So you have to actually like set it to user controller. Were you playing mouse or keyboard?
Mouse and keyboard.
I was playing mouse and keyboard.
I think you have to go and set the widgets to be for keyboard.
Nope, it's
okay.
There was tab, and then the things came up, and each of the things had the button that they corresponded to.
There was no button on mine.
You had no button. Well, the demo has the buttons.
God damn it! The demo took all the buttons.
The port has problems. I
didn't have any other problems.
I ran into
with the
another
port.
problem.
What was your problem with the port?
Mainly controls. Trying to figure out what's what. It
has some weird things like it puts up M when it means mouse.
Yeah, and
it was
just press
aim,
mouse.
M, fire.
Yeah. Very confused. I couldn't work how to do my charge shot for ages.
I do want to like on the conversation stuff. So you've got NPCs who are in your party, and I thought, and I thought that was pretty cool because when you go on missions, you can pick like who you want to come with you.
Yes.
And it's quite responsive. So when I first picked where to go, I was like, who am I going to pick? And I'm like, all right, there's a sniper and someone with a shotgun was my choice.
Yeah.
And it just happened they were both female. So I went out with the two ladies in the crew.
Yeah.
And then when walking off, they started grilling me on it. Saying like, well, why did you pick the ladies?
Same thing happened to me. I took the big guy and the sniper,
like,
and the big guy was like, hey, look at the body of that sniper. I was like,
so I thought that was kind of cool. Like it was responding pretty well. And then I also, after we like finished the boss battle, I had the choice to say something, and the jerk response was "I love you." And she basically is like, "That's really inappropriate. You shouldn't say that."
That is inappropriate.
Yeah, and then I apologize, and she's like, "Yeah, don't say things like that." Like it really called me
out.
You dick.
Yeah, like okay, game.
What I loved was I'd pull up the responses. I go, okay, so I can say no, and then I'd just be going, no. 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 It goes, fine, don't talk to me then. Yes. I was talking to you all along.
Siri, cover me.
But I think if naturally being able to talk in combat, with just simple responses.
It might work now.
Yeah, like if they just took that, if they just plugged in like the Microsoft developed voice recognition that was used on like there came an Echo and stuff, like that would work fine, but it was a little bit ahead of itself. Yeah. After that though, as a shooter, I think this game is phenomenal at its number one thing, which is shooting robots.
Yes.
Shooting robots never felt so good.
So I'm going to disagree slightly.
Oh, where?
The first the first chapter of this game I hated.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm playing.
It's a bit boring.
The first chapter and like everything is average. Yeah. Everything about this game feels average, and this is a game which had like I'd heard good things about. Like,
it's a bit of a cult.
Bit of a cult, sleeper hit. And I was like, really? This is just like this average shooter. It's doing nothing that interesting. It's being fairly varied, but each individual situation isn't that great. Then I got to chapter 2. And I think when I hit chapter 2, particularly this boss fight here, it all comes together. And
this is the demo, isn't it?
Yeah, this level is the demo.
And I thought it was amazing. I had such a good battle going through this.
Because I played through that whole level going, why can't I order my guys to do anything more than cover me or fall back? I have a sniper. There's a sniper over there. This is a set piece. Can't my sniper snipe them,
I think generally you just do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You play.
I realized that
I just really wanted to shoot them kids.
Oh, yeah, it's like it doesn't feel like shooting children today.
I just really wanted to shoot them kids, Paul 2016.
What I wanted, I thought the game would have been like, because I really enjoying it. I really like it. But if those kids had just like turned out to be robots and then you were shooting like robot skinned children.
Yeah.
Best game ever.
Take it to the natural extent and a whole bunch of like robot babies crawling down walls.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yeah.
It would be creepy. Well, it actually could be done very well.
The story.
Well, this crossed like a Metal Gear with like things going around and it's getting Lovecraftian.
No. With screamers.
Yes.
There's a reference for 3 people.
There's actually a few little Metal Gear nods in this. Like just in the intro, there's like the underwater approach, which is like,
Yeah.
that's very Metal Gear. And the menus have got like kind of this Metal Gear kind of sound to it. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, like this game.
Did you like the sliding scene?
Nope.
I thought it was badly done.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like the first chapter is pretty average. The moment I got out of it though, like, oh wow, this is really good, because you were talking before about the robot shooting and how robot shooting feels great, and it's good. It's awesome because it feels like I'm shooting friggin' robots.
Yeah, you shoot them, parts come off them. You knock them to the best part is when you've disabled a robot. Well, no, where you've knocked down a robot, like you've taken its legs off. It ain't dead. It's a robot.
Yeah.
So it just starts crawling towards you.
That first moment of manic half robot coming at you.
Or you shoot them in the head, so they just start wildly shooting and shoot all their friends, and like, yes.
It reminds me a little bit of Dead Space.
Oh yeah,
where like way shooting it kind of changes the way. And the story as well. Like I'm actually pretty interested to see.
What angle are they at now?
Very vertical.
Because they were going pretty vertical, and then it went down more.
More vertical.
Yeah, and they're gonna get so much air in a second, and then they'll die.
Oh, with this next section here where you're in the water. This is no. It's the end bit where you got to go after the boat.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize there was a run. Well, I did. I couldn't.
Oh, you didn't
out
realize there was a run button.
And you can still actually compete quite easily.
Yeah.
But like this whole thing, I'm like, I don't even know what the run button is, and like I'm
It's
just
space
sluggishly,
it's like a cover button.
Yeah.
So you can't run into cover.
The cover, like all the cover and stuff, like it's a little bit clunky because it's, but it's still pretty good.
I think it's like it's.
Well, all I got is that so many games have done it so well. I thought we were at an end of bad cover.
Well, when was this though? Was this pre Gears of War?
It would be
Or
around
post?
Gears of War time.
So I think it was still when we were getting cover sorted out.
Like it works for me most of the time. I don't accidentally go into cover or anything.
I mean, there's some weird things like you hit the reload button, but you hold the reload button to charge.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could charge.
Only with your main gun.
Yeah. There's an upgrade system I thought was pretty cool. You find like power-ups you equip, and they go
like
in your
a vending
character,
machine.
and there's like different shapes to the power-ups, so you got to click them in like puzzle style. You find that stuff?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I
you're just zoning out.
I was just looking into your eyes.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Looking into your eyes, thinking about robots.
Yeah.
Thinking about robots.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a lovely night.
It's what I think stood out for me for this one was the amount of variety that was going on in it.
Yeah.
And I think the first chapter, which is really just the intro.
It's a bit drudgy.
It's a bit like clunky. Nothing really works that well.
Moving the cranes, that was pretty terrible.
It bugged out on me after the crane as well, and I had to restart the game because the conversation. Like it was like but then as soon as I got to that boss fight,
2012,
27th of April. Thanks, Mr. Producer.
Yeah, it's actually more recent than I thought. Or time I'm just old, and that doesn't seem that long ago. Yeah,
that was a while ago.
Yeah,
well, that's when the world was meant to end.
Yeah.
And has any year after that felt real?
So, it's something that holds up without any rose tinting.
Well, you have no rose. I have a little bit of rose tinting.
I have zero rose tinting. Yes, I think if you're in the mood for like a solid shooter with some interesting ideas and some RPG mechanics, there's like, you pick classes, you have this conversation system. There's a.
Did you ever upgrade your
I did
you guys?
Bit, yeah.
I only upgraded me. I'm like, nah, my co-guys, fuck off.
There's
all the money's for me.
There's a reputation system as well. Like, they will like get down arrows when you say stuff they don't like. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, you accidentally friendly fire, and they just won't listen to your orders.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody shot me,
I
would be reluctant to.
Could you not be in charge now?
Yeah. So,
went into it fresh, no idea, had a blast.
Still had a blast even with the confusion?
Good times.
I do like just the way the robots all.
That's what it was. I was fighting a corridor of robots, and then I got in a giant robot and shot it in its face a whole bunch, and that was the end of my experience, and it was
so
great.
Good. Anyway, if you got it for free, good work. If not, it probably costs money now.
Yeah, a fair bit of money. That's why I didn't.
How much money did it cost when you looked up?
It was it's 20 US, I think.
It's getting on a bit.
Add it to your wish list. Add it to your wish list.
Yeah, there it is.
Because if this bad boy goes on sale, totally worth the purchase.
So if you buy the game, it's 20. But if you buy
the package,
16 with this, it's 16 bucks. Well, it's obviously no one's looking anymore. That's right. Okay, and we didn't pick a game for next week. And you know what? I'm just going to wing it. We're going to do a top 5 next week.
What are we doing?
We're going to do top 5 games with robots. Because we're talking about robots.
I'm sure we've done one of these, and like when we used to do.
It doesn't matter. It's a new show.
I know, but it means I can go back to my old list.
No, you can't.
Can't go back.
100% new.
Yeah.
100% new robots.
Hey, audience,
I get no say in this.
if you want to listen to us doing top 5s, we have like so many.
Yeah, we'd have
For years.
not hundreds, but over 100.
Yeah. And here,
Yeah.
the stories of Ben. Oh, man. The magical Ben.
Okay, I'm just checking that we haven't missed anything, because sometimes I miss things. We've got a lot of things on this. No, we look good. Okay, so thank you very much for watching 8.5-Bit Live. We're only a little bit over time, so that works out well. Catch us next week for top 5 games with robots?
Robots.
Or gaming robots.
Games with
or whatever.
robots.
Just there's a robot in a game, you can talk about the robot of the game. Whatever. We'll wing it. We always do.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome,
Thanks-
Angie.
thanks for
you can come
coming
by
on.
anytime. Do you like me calling you Angie?
My parents called me Angus when I was like a really small child, so I'm
My
getting some
nephew's
weird
name
vibes
is...
from it.
Yeah, that's what we call my nephew.
Can I call you A-Dog?
You can call me whatever you want. man.
A-Dizzle?
Adolf?
Adolf?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a soft pass on Adolf.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
Not hearing hard pass.
Ah. Okay, check out Fairly Breaks by Anais
Yeah.
and other people.
There are some other people involved. Whatever.
There it is
Good
again.
work, Anais and Elliot and Sean, and the whole Sponge team.
Yeah.
May
Yeah.
you hire many grads.
Thank you for watching. Please share us about and tell your friends about us. I've been your host, Paul.
I've been James.
I've been Angus.
We'll see you all next week, folks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.